Hi, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wide world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Looking for the inside track on everything sports? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Sports World Radio, the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet with your hosts, Jeff Escow and Elliot Big E Lomba.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Glad you all could be here. Lots and lots to get to on Sports World Radio today. I am your host, Jeff Escow. Let's get all the particulars out of the way, and then we'll have some fun. We do this show each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. If you live anywhere else, figure that crap out for yourself, because Elliot and I ain't doing it for you.
Got that right.
I was waiting for that one that time. Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. That's Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio, Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Sports World Radio is brought to you by ProfessionalRecordingStudioEquipment.com. Head on over there, pick up your microphones, your mixers, your pop filters, your mic stands, anything you need at ProfessionalRecordingStudioEquipment.com. With all that being said, what do you say? Hey, we bring in the second half of Sports World Radio, Elliot Big E Lomba. What's going on, buddy boy? How you doing? Yeah, turn your mic on.
I wanted to make sure that button actually worked. I got my mixer back.
I know. Aaron told me earlier. Yeah. Great.
And so I was just wanting to make sure that was the button I need to push to go mute.
No, that is the button you need to push to go and mute.
Well, you see, this one has 3 buttons as compared to the other one that had 2.
Right.
So I have to get reacclimated to this mixer all over again. I decided to use it because, I mean, it has the sound effects and all that kind of stuff on
and
it. So
it's the smaller one, right?
No, it's the big one.
Oh, it's the bigger one.
The one with the 4 XLRs. And
okay. It's the bigger one.
And the built-in sound effects.
Oh, it's the Elysius.
No. It's the Behringer, but it's the 1202. It's the 1202.
Oh, that's okay. The Behringer one.
The one I originally got. The board went out on it. I sent it out to get it repaired. It just got back today.
Cool. Nice.
Hey, Chris, really quick, I wouldn't put too much emphasis on how smart Lance might be, because he also picked the Twins to win the Central and the AL. So
that was crazy, man.
So I would hold off, giving him too much praise on intelligence at this point.
Don't forget, coming up in the second hour, we got Ron Gallo talking NHL hockey with us today. That's going to be a lot of fun. I hope he shows up. I haven't heard from him all day.
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
Oh, well, that's not good.
No,
Send
but
him a message.
he knows it's Wednesday. He'll be here. I'm sure. If he wasn't going to be here, I would have heard from him.
True.
Right. True. That's the way he rolls.
Unless he's stuck in a snowbank somewhere.
Yeah, well, he does live in Canada, eh?
That's exactly why I said it.
It's getting cold. I picked Syracuse to win the big dance. That's how smart I am. Originally? Yeah? You rap bad. He picked Syracuse to win the NCAA tournament.
Who?
Christopher.
Oh, yeah. He can say that now.
No, that's why I asked originally on the original, Oh,
before the tournament started, he picked it?
Yes. That's what he's saying.
Well, again, it's coming from him. I need to see proof.
It's coming from...
Show me a documented bracket that says that you picked Syracuse from start to finish.
He told me that's coming from a Pittsburgh Pirate fan. So, what do you got to take it with a grain of salt.
Who thinks a guy that picks Minnesota is a smart guy?
Yeah, got to take it with a grain of salt. Exactly. So how's your day going, buddy?
It's going good, man. I just about a half hour before the show, Aaron woke me up. Good thing I was still in the in pier. But anyway, he woke me up, and I was like out of it because I had my closet organizer in my room.
Mm-hmm.
One of the sides of it snapped, so I had to go get it. I'm taking a shirt off, and all my clothes just fell down.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I had to go get another one, and this one was bigger and sturdier. And so I had to put it together. And of course, I'm kind of like,
Right.
And so anyway, I got up and I was like, holy shit. And I didn't know then all of a sudden I get a mixer handed to me and I'm trying to put that together. And then, and then finally got everything working. And I was like, you know what? After all that, I kind of feel pretty good. Let's get going. Let's get rolling. Shoot. I'm gonna take a second. I'm gonna take a second to adjust my camera though, because I don't like the way it's set.
He's not having a string of bad luck.
Who?
Chris? You, Elliot. Christopher says you're having a string of bad luck.
Oh no! That's an ordinary day for me.
Yeah, that's just a regular day for him. What's the weather? What's the weather like out there?
Sunny and warm.
About time, huh?
Disgusting.
It's disgustingly.
It's disgusting.
Disgusting humidity, huh?
Well, the humidity is part of it. Just the fact that when it's hot, I can't really even go out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's only 59 here, so it's nice.
When it's hot outside, I mean, I can look outside and not feel well.
Right. No, it's nice out here. I'm walking around in T-shirt, so it's beautiful out here.
But I did manage to get out for a little while. Took Mariano out. He's not in school right now because of his little thing yesterday.
Yeah.
And but everything's cool. Everything seems to be back in order.
Brett wants to know if it's steam coming out of the pavement hot.
No, because the humidity tends to dull down the intensity of the heat. Now, if we were in Arizona, every day is fry some eggs and bacon on the freaking sidewalk hot. Yeah, exactly. There's no steam coming off the pavement, no fogginess or anything. It's just a nice day out. Only thing is, again, with me, nice days tend to not work out so well.
Christopher's wife really liked our Dancing with the Stars recap.
Hey, Chris, I'm glad she enjoyed that. Let her know that every Tuesday at the beginning of the show, we will have a full recap of Dancing with the Stars, and it will never, ever be cut off part of the way through again.
Yeah, we'll try. As long as we...
No. Yesterday was a bit of a mistake from a production side. Okay. I should have never split it off. Should have waited a little while longer to bring Josh on so that way we'd have completed the Dancing with the Stars. So that way the original plan in place is not to have anything to discuss that Scott can't be a part of in the second half.
Yeah, I know.
And so with that said, because we had the difficulties in the beginning of the show, we should have just pushed forward until we had those last 4 videos and the final result out of the way, and then brought Josh in. But, you live and you learn.
Next week, hopefully we won't have no technical issues next week. So.
No, I hope not either. And now I figured out what the problem is at times, and I found out that when that whole spinning stuff starts with the video, I just need to refresh my browser.
Okay.
And then it starts working again.
Cool. See, we learned something.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
nice.
Yeah, but tell your wife, tune in every Tuesday.
Yeah, at the top of it, right after we get all the particulars and we get out we get all our banter out of the way.
I'll be ready to rock and roll with videos and everything.
Right. We'll have some fun.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
It'll be a lot of fun. All right, so what do you want to do today, my friend?
I'm done with my camera adjustments. Give me this.
What do you want to do today, my friend?
Well, there's a couple things I actually wanted to talk about. First off, LeBron James.
Yeah, what about that pansy?
Okay. LeBron James wasn't playing in a game last night.
No, he was coaching.
Did you see him?
Yes.
Did you see how he basically made Tyronn Lue look like he wasn't even part of the team?
Correct.
LeBron, sit your ass down.
What does that say?
And then he's up coaching when the team is up by 20.
What does that say?
Okay, coach when the team is down by 20. Let's see how good you are then.
Coaching.
What that tells me is that LeBron is one selfish bitch.
Yep.
And he's all about LeBron.
I agree.
He doesn't give two shits if Cleveland wins. He doesn't give two. That's why he's talking about having this dream team with Carmelo Anthony, because he knows he can't do it on his own in Cleveland.
Right. Exactly. Listen, when he's not playing, he's coaching.
He's going to try to recruit these guys to come to Cleveland to help him win a championship.
Right.
Instead of him going somewhere else.
Correct.
To have somebody help him win a championship. Because he's never won a championship on his own.
Right.
He's always needed somebody's help.
Right. I just heard from Ron. He'll be here.
And even with that, he only won one champ. He only really won one.
One. Right. No, I agree with you. Correct.
And to me, that kind of contradicts everything that Tyronn Lue said when he took the coaching position. He said LeBron needs to know his place on this team. And obviously he doesn't. You
didn't say anything to him last night about it, did you, Lou?
No. And you know what? That was Lou's opportunity to say, LeBron, sit your ass down.
Exactly.
Or leave the bench.
Exactly.
But you can't be causing these distractions.
No, he's coach. What the hell is that all about? You're a player, not a coach. Sit your ass down. You're not playing in the game. Hey, I don't see Tim Duncan doing that crap.
No. None of those guys, when they're sitting on the bench, is getting up and trying to coach the team. Because Popovich, you see, and that's the thing. If you had a coach in there with some balls.
Yeah, exactly right. You didn't see
him.
Yeah, you didn't see LeBron James doing that in Miami, did you?
No.
You know why?
Because if the coach wouldn't have said something, Pat Riley would have.
Exactly right.
But Dan Gilbert is another nutless bastard.
He's a bitch. They're all.
He's a bitch. That's why LeBron and Dan Gabriel get along. So I think they're butt buddies myself, but they're bitches.
Correct. That's why he's there, because that's why he went back to Cleveland, because he can get away with murder in Cleveland. He knows he can't get away with murder anywhere else. That's why. Hey, Diego.
I don't know. To me, it's.
That's why.
It just sickens me to see somebody be with that much talent, that much ability, have such little between their freaking ears.
I agree. I don't know what the hell his problem. Just play ball. Listen, you got a hard enough time winning a championship playing the game. Don't bother coaching. You got a hard enough time trying to win a championship while you're playing. Leave coaching to somebody else.
Yeah, leave coaching to somebody else that knows how to coach.
You're right, Christopher. He is nominated for Hump of the Week.
He's nominated for Hump of the Month at this point.
That's just ridiculous.
And we got 1 day left in the month. He just took over everything. And you know what? Actually, the rap bastard of the week is LeBron. The hump of the week is Tyronn Lue for not telling him something.
Exactly right. I agree 100%. Good. That just shows you how much power Tyronn Lue has. Absolutely
Zero.
None.
He's got as much power as David Blatt had.
Correct. Absolutely.
No matter how much LeBron, and that's why LeBron lobbied for Tyronn Lue.
Right.
Because he was still a coach that LeBron could control.
Correct. Absolutely. That just shows you right there. Hey, Antonio. That just shows you right there whose team that is. It's not Tyronn Lue's team. It's LeBron James's team.
In a big way.
Yeah. I couldn't believe Lue was just standing there and letting LeBron do that. And not saying a word. I'd be all up in his grill. I don't care who the hell you are. You're a player. Sit your ass down. And you're not playing? Sit your ass down and shut up. No coaching from you. That's just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just it's blasphemous, is what the way I look at it.
This is ridiculous.
And I really think that LeBron, more than anything, is a cancer to any team that he goes to. All that talent, but he's got an ego 10 miles long.
Correct.
I don't give a shit about how nice he is or how much he does for this and how much he's a selfish bitch is what he is.
That's right.
And he will step on anybody. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, too. That's another rat bastard, D'Angelo Russell of the Los Angeles Lakers. Have you seen that story?
No, I've neglected to go and read the story, to tell you the truth. I've been waiting for you to bring it up.
Basically, D'Angelo Russell, what he did is he recorded a private conversation with what's his name, Swaggy P, Nick Young.
P. Hey, Horace.
Yeah, Nick Young, and Nick Young is Iggy Azalea's boyfriend. Okay, but this guy recorded a private conversation where Nick Young admitted to cheating on her, and then he posted it for her to see.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, Tailgate. Really?
Now the whole freaking team is isolating his ass. He's got no love whatsoever on that roster right now.
What's up, Ronnie? Wow.
They have cast. He's an outcast right now on the Lakers.
Wow.
And that's a bitch move. Come on now.
That might not just be the Lakers. That could be the entire NBA.
No, but I'm just saying this is one case in particular that's documented and proven.
No, I'm
just
saying. Right. No,
I'm just saying this is a bitch move from a man card standpoint.
Correct, and that's why I'm saying
don't
he might
record
not.
Your teammates' private conversation and then shorts. Why? Because you can't get that on your own.
Why? And that's what I'm saying. He may not be able to go to another team and live this down. You know what I'm saying? This might follow him from team to team to team. So he might have a little problem in the NBA.
To sign him.
Correct. He might have a problem in the NBA now.
He might get blackballed for all you know.
Well, he's still,
which he would deserve it.
Can they cut him even though he's signed his first year of a 3-year deal? Can they get rid of him?
Well, the season's almost over. I wouldn't cut him now.
But
I would definitely consider releasing him or trying to trade him, because right now he's not favored in that LA locker room.
Right.
Hey, and for him to pull some shit like that during Kobe's retirement season,
correct.
That puts a whole cloud over.
Here's the YouTube video of it.
All right, yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
If I was Nick Young, I'd be whooping that dude's ass, dude.
And look what did you see what Iggy wrote on her Twitter? She's like, thanks.
Yeah, well, she's being a skank.
Wow, that's just nuts.
He's just lucky he didn't do that to Matt Barnes, yo.
Yeah, listen, Matt Barnes already has been suspended twice for what he did to freaking.
Matt Barnes would have whooped his ass.
Yeah, Barnes already got suspended twice for what he did to freaking Fisher. Okay, he'd be suspended from the league.
Nick's being too soft.
Yeah, he'd get suspended from the league for what he do to Russell. Easy, you know that. Hey, what's up, Ronnie? How you doing, little man?
But then there was another story I can't remember off the top of my head. It has something to do with some chick was cheating or whatever. They said that she was cheating on this one. I have to find the story. I don't want to, put it out there just in paraphrasing. So if I find it during the broadcast, I'll bring it up.
Hey, Antonio, you're right, man. Barnes would have choked his ass right out.
Barnes would have whooped his ass right there at the bench, dude. Right in the middle of everybody in the arena.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, he would have probably freaking clotheslined them on the layup line.
Wow. He's eating meals by himself. Nobody's really talking to him. And he's supposed to be the point guard of the team, right?
Dude, they got memes, dude. They got memes about him now. They got the set of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he's in there, and there's nobody in the house, no furniture or nothing. He's just in there by himself.
How did they get the video? He probably posted the video.
He posted it so she can see it. And obviously for him, mission accomplished because she's all for it.
Right. So I guess they'll be dating soon, huh?
I guess.
I guess.
Well, it can't be douche canoe because he's not part of the media. But there's nothing that says we can't have co-rap bastards or co-humps of the week either.
Right. And we could give the STFU to somebody and give him a rap bastard.
That too.
Yeah. We got no problem. Hey, if we got to come up with a special award, we will. Trust me.
Hey, we'll make up an award. We don't care. Dude.
All these awards are made up anyway. What the hell?
Precisely.
No, hey, shut up, Ronnie. I told Elliot what I did at dinner. I told him. He laughed his ass off.
Oh, remind me.
When I went to dinner, when Ronnie was in town that Friday night, when he was in town, we went to dinner. And my dad's girlfriend sat next to me, and I really wasn't thrilled about that. So I ordered the ribs just to piss her off because I knew the smell would annoy her.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know Ronnie. He told me Ronnie wasn't happy that she showed up.
No, he wasn't. Not at all.
Is she big or what is she?
No,
big, small.
She's a tiny little thing. She's about 4
foot.
So
she couldn't ate much.
She did, huh? But she kept complaining that the ribs smelled. That the smell was bothering her, so that's why I ordered it. Because I knew it would bother her.
That's freaking creepy, dude. Especially
so I did it. Well, I did it for Ronnie. Ronnie didn't want her there, so I got something that would annoy her.
I'm saying it's creepy that she even showed up, dude.
It's my dad, Hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
my dad. It's my dad. What are you gonna do, right?
He probably wanted her to put out a lot harder this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's like that.
But anyway, hey, you know what? Here are some comments from Stephen A. Smith on the whole situation.
Ooh, I'd like to hear what he had to say.
Hang on, let me get it in here.
It's playing in the small window?
Yeah, wait a minute. Whoa, go back. Get out of here. Hang on. I got the wrong one. Okay, hang on. I get it. Oh, you know what? It's an ESPN one, so
yeah, probably won't play it.
It won't play in the small. I only play in the small window.
And you got to hit the play button for it. They don't have a YouTube video of it.
Let me see if I can find the YouTube. Yeah, he had some comments today on the whole situation.
I'm sure he did.
He thinks it's a disgrace that this is all happening during Kobe's retirement.
Right. What did he have anything to say about LeBron James coaching?
You know what? I didn't see anything on that. I'm sure he probably.
I'm sure his.
Even then, he was probably defending him.
I'm sure Skippy Bayless was loving that bull crap.
Yeah, whatever.
So I'm sure Stephen A. took the other side just to piss Skippy off. you know? That's the way to do that. Take the other side just to piss Skippy off. Because damn well Skippy loved LeBron coaching last night.
Okay, here we go. Here's the video where Stephen A. goes off on D'Angelo Russell. All right. And there it is.
He's right. He's 100%
You know
correct.
what? I don't remember the last time I agreed with Stephen A. 100% about anything.
And right here you are.
I mean, I couldn't have said. As a matter of fact, some things he said in there, I said previous to playing the freaking audio of the video.
Right.
You
Exactly
just
right.
don't do that.
No, you don't.
As a man, you don't do that. Especially not to either a friend or your teammate, dude. Come on now.
Ronnie, what are you on the phone? That's why you probably can't see it. You're on your phone. If you're not on your computer, then you're probably not seeing it.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to get a feed if you're not on a computer.
Right.
So it's tough enough to get a clear feed to be on the show on a device, much less trying to play the videos.
Yeah, I don't think if you're on your phone, Ronnie, you're not going to get the feed. If you're on your computer or your laptop, then should be able to see it.
Now, before we go any further, I don't know if I've ever told anybody. I know you know my story, okay, when it comes to GH. For those of you who don't know GH, it's General Hospital. It's a soap opera that comes on every day at 2 o'clock Eastern here in the East Coast. It comes on 2 o'clock in the West Coast as well, okay? But, it's been around for over 50 years. Now, people, I know a lot of times I get reaction from people, oh, you watch soap operas? You know what? When I was 8, I was home from school with a positive TB test and pneumonia, and I had to stay home for like a month from school. Now, back when I was a kid, we had 4 channels?
Yeah, 4 or 5 channels if we were
We
lucky.
had 4 or 5 channels, rabbit ears, aluminum foil, stuff like that. And during the day, we didn't have 24/7 cartoons and all this every 24/7 everything. I mean, we had TV stations that shut off at midnight when I was growing up, so there was no TV after midnight. Okay, so I'm home from school for a month. There ain't nothing to watch during the day. All of a sudden, I'm flipping through channels and I start watching these soap operas, and it was All My Children, One Life to Live, in General Hospital. Of course, a few years back, the other 2 were dropped, but General Hospital lives on. Okay. So anyway, over the years, I mean, I've gone through VHS recordings. Now, thank God, there's DVRs, because I feel like I'm a part of the show. I've been watching it for so long. Okay. A while back, Maurice Bernard, he plays a character called Sonny Corinthos. He's like the mobster in this soap opera. He's the kingpin. He comes off as a coffee importer, but I mean, he doesn't deal in drugs or any of that kind of stuff. but let's just put it this way: it's his territory, and people that have tried to take it have died in the process. All right. So, long story short, a few months ago, Maurice Bernard was on First Take. Okay. Because he found out that Stephen A. is a huge fan of General Hospital. He's been watching it properly as long as I have. He's admitted to 40 years or so, 40 plus years. Okay. They had a conversation, and at one point, Maurice Bernard told him that he'd get him a part on the show sometime in the future. All right. Stephen A. was like, "Sure, I'll do it." You know. So I come to find out today that that's actually going to be a reality. Tomorrow on General Hospital, Stephen A. will be making an appearance on the soap opera.
As what?
Well, his character, and it's going to be somebody that's actually working for Sonny. Okay? See for yourself, dude.
Oh, boy.
And that's just a small snippet of what he's doing on the show tomorrow.
Okay, so he's playing a guy that's wiring up a joint so somebody can hear somebody talking, right?
He's a wiretapper.
He's
basically.
a wiretapper, right?
Yeah.
After he just got finished yelling at Angelo, right?
He's playing. Yeah, but you see, that's just it. He's doing it as a role on a TV show.
I find that
D'Angelo
funny.
Russell is doing it in real freaking life, dude. He's actually destroying somebody's life.
Yeah, I know. I find that funny though. He's playing a wiretapper on a TV show, and he just finished trashing a wiretapper.
He's the communications guy.
And he just finished trashing a wiretapper. That's funny.
Isn't that crazy?
That's comical right there.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm looking forward to tomorrow in a way. I know I'm going to see what I just saw, but hopefully he'll have a couple more segments in the show. I thought it was kind of cool. I really
General Hospital comes on here at 1:00. Not 2:00. 1:00.
1:00 there.
Yeah, it comes on at 1:00. The only reason why I know that is because it's right after the TV show The Chew, and I watched The Chew, and then at 1:00. And then I like it because they do cooking on there.
I used to like you.
Well, they do cooking on there, and I cook some of those recipes and stuff. I make some of that.
Yeah,
stuff
well, that was one of the shows that replaced my freaking soap opera. So no, I never watched The Chew. I can't stand The Chew. I don't give a damn about The Chew.
General Hospital comes on, but then I go to Blue Bloods.
Who's the scary looking black chick on there, dude?
Carla. I'm not fond of her. She's way scary.
She's scary looking, dude.
Yeah, no. I'm big fans of Mario and the bald-headed dude, Michael Simon. That's why I like watching it, because I like what those guys cook. You know, I'm not too fond of what she cooks, but I like what those guys cook.
So Jeff, one last episode of the O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, did you see last night's episode?
Yes, I did.
How about that, huh?
Yes, I did.
That was some shit last night, wasn't it?
Man, next week is the verdict. I want to see that.
Yeah, next week is the final episode.
Awesome.
I'm surprised they're only doing 1 hour. I thought maybe the last episode would be a 2-hour special. That would have been kind of nice if it was a 2-hour special.
Well, I mean, it is what it is, but it's just it's getting to the point where it's really deep, man.
Yeah, I know it's coming down to the end. And did you see how they when OJ was taking off his clothes and changing into his prisoner's clothes, and Kardashian was just standing there? He's not happy, is he? He's not a happy camper, is he?
No,
not a happy camper, man. That was pretty cool, though, last night. That, man, I forgot all that crap happened. And then when Mark Furman came back on the stand, I was just waiting for him to say what he was going to say because I remember that. I remember that part of it. I was like, yeah, you're done, dude.
Yeah, Chris, I don't think that Nick Young has a case for a lawsuit because what's he going to sue him for? What's the charge? I mean, I don't know.
Invasion of privacy.
It depends. I mean, you can look at that in one of two ways. Where were they when he was recording the conversation? It doesn't matter.
If they were in Nick's house,
don't matter.
You know, if they
see
were
the intent. I mean, for him to have a lawsuit, it would have to be something that he would say he was saying something incorrect or lying about something. Nick admits that he was cheating on the girl.
Correct.
Okay.
So, right. I don't think anything can happen. I think what's going to happen is he's getting traded. That's what I think.
I think what happens is if he can't get traded, he's going to get cut.
Or he'll be sitting on the bench, and that'll be the end of that.
No. There will be there's no gray area here. Because as long as he remains on the Lakers squad, that team is going to suffer losses like it did the other night to Utah.
I don't think can they just cut somebody in the NBA?
Sure. No guarantee. There's no such thing as a full-length guaranteed contract. People could cut you at any time.
They'll have to buy him out, right?
Not necessarily. It depends on what clauses he has in his contract.
Well, he's still
if
on
he
his
did something. Yeah, but you see, it could fall into detrimental to the
team.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he's still under his first contract, which is only 3 years.
This is what I'm saying. Conduct detrimental to the team.
Right. So he could be cut for that.
Yeah. That's a violation of any contract, really.
Right.
Any team can have that clause in
there.
there.
Could the NBA do something to him?
No. That's a team. That would be a team issue.
That's just a team issue. It's not an NBA issue.
Yeah. The NBA, the Players Association.
Yeah, the Players Association.
I don't know if they would have a leg to stand on because if he did something that's detrimental, if he committed conduct detrimental, and is part of the contract, then he's in violation, which means that they are at liberty to sever the contract. Which
means no buyout or nothing. Means you're just gone.
Just a straight out cut.
You're gone. Right.
You don't owe him nothing. Adios, see ya. Good luck trying to find somebody else to take your rat bastard ass on their roster.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. As they used to say when we were growing up.
Any of you 29 NBA teams looking for a rat bastard on your team? I hear D'Angelo Russell is available.
So, hey, don't forget, coming up at the top of the hour, we got Ron Gallo talking NHL hockey with us. That's going to be a lot of fun. So get ready for that. I know he's coming. He messaged me on Facebook, told me he was going to be here.
Okay, really quick, let's get into some NBA action, not NBA gossip and headlines and all that bull crap. Last night in the NBA, the Chicago Bulls, the Jekyll and Hyde team that they are, go into Indiana and defeat the Indiana Pacers 98-96. Okay,
they're still 2 games behind them.
I don't think they're going to make it, but that deals a little bit of a blow to Indiana.
Well, Indiana's in the 8th seed.
That's what I'm saying.
Chicago's 2 games
Indiana's trying to jump to the 7th seed so they can play Toronto instead of Cleveland.
Correct.
You see, so that hurts them from moving up.
Can you believe Detroit's ahead of Indiana?
Yeah, because Detroit beat OKC last night.
Detroit's ahead of Indiana by 1 game, and Indiana is ahead of Chicago by 2.
Yeah. Detroit, that's a whole nother story from the Detroit OKC game. Did you hear Russell Westbrook after the game?
What's going on with that team?
He's totally pissed off about the fact that Reggie Jackson, former OKC Thunder player, who now plays for the Detroit Pistons, got a little too exuberant with his celebration of their victory last night.
Tough.
Russell Westbrook laid in on it.
Oh, well. It's not like you haven't done it before, Russell Westbrook.
He really let him have it. But anyway, the next game up, Orlando, Brooklyn really didn't mean much, but Orlando stuck it to the Brooklyn Nets last night, 139-105. Charlotte goes into Philly, 185 victory there for the Charlotte Hornets. Again, as I mentioned, Detroit 88, OKC 82. Mm-hmm. Also, Houston went into Cleveland and beat the Cavaliers 106-100 with Coach LeBron.
Good. You're 0 for 1, LeBron.
So he's 0-1 in his coaching debut, right?
That's correct. He's 0-1.
Okay. All right. Because you know what this tells me? I could see him probably talking Gilbert into being player coach next season.
Correct.
And getting rid of Tyronn Lue.
Yes. Yeah.
And that, to me, would be just as blasphemous as D'Angelo Russell pulling that shit on Nick Young.
That would be ridiculous. When was the last time we had a player coach? Is that Bill Russell? Huh?
Somebody, I don't know, but I'm sure somebody better than LeBron. Anyway, right? And Golden State went ahead and maintained their home undefeated at 102-94. Also, I heard today that don't be surprised, and it looks like San Antonio is not going to play any of their starters against Golden State in that game in Golden State later on.
Yeah, we called that yesterday. We said that.
Well, yeah, that's just a no-brainer,
right?
To think that they're, it's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Okay, so tonight, let me grab a pen real quick. Oh, I got one around here somewhere.
For tonight's games?
Yeah.
What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 games?
Nine.
Big whopping 9 games. Huh?
And for those of you that speak German, that does not mean there are no games tonight. That means there's 9 games tonight.
9!
Well, I don't have a pen, Jeff, so.
Again?
I thought I had one.
Again?
I had one. You know what? I lose so many pens. And people steal pens. I just lose them.
Again? Hold on. Yep. I got to find me an empty.
I even lose the ones I steal.
Okay. I'm ready for you, buddy.
All right. First game up. Atlanta at Toronto. This could be a playoff matchup.
Yeah. Atlanta at Toronto, right?
Yeah.
I'm taking the Raptors.
I'm going with I'm going with the Hawks.
ATL. All right.
Okay. We got Denver at Memphis. Woohoo!
Denver at Memphis?
Wow.
I'm taking Memphis.
What are the ticket prices for that game, huh?
$7.
I'm going to take Denver.
Okay.
All right, here's another one. Here's another whiz banger. Phoenix at Milwaukee.
Phoenix at Milwaukee. I'm going to take the Bucks.
Hey, anybody on this broadcast that knows anybody with insomnia, let them know to come on so they could, tell them to check the NBA games out tonight.
That's right. They'll be sleeping in 2
minutes. They won't have any problem sleeping after that.
Exactly.
Here's another one. The Clippers at Minnesota.
Who you taking in the Bucks game?
Oh, Phoenix, Milwaukee. I'll take the Bucks.
Okay.
All Clippers and Wolves.
Clips.
You got the Clips?
Yeah.
I'll go with the Clippers as well. New York Knicks at the Dallas Mavericks.
Gee, what Dallas team's showing up is the problem there.
I'm taking the Knicks in this one.
Me too.
New Orleans at San Antonio. Of course, San Antonio.
Okay, me too.
They're at home.
Right. Hold on, let's get
Golden State is on the road with Utah.
Golden State is on the road with Utah?
Yep.
I'm taking the Warriors. Utah. Hey, Scotty.
I'll take the Warriors.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, Scott? Washington at Sacramento?
I'm going to take Washington.
Washington. Okay. And I'm going to do the same.
Okay.
Miami at the Lakers.
Miami.
I got the Heat as well.
Okay, we're all set. Boom. We're all set.
And that does it for our NBA.
There you go. How's it going, Scotty?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. I'm being
I wanted to give you some props because you blew up my Twitter timeline the other night with your automatic postings when you were. I don't know if you uploaded videos to your site or not, but you blew up my Twitter.
Yeah, I uploaded some videos.
Yeah, it blew up my timeline.
Excellent.
I'm like, what the hell is he doing?
Excellent. Excellent.
That's why I block him.
Gotta love that.
Like, oh God.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
So
really quick, in the NFL.
Yeah.
All right. The Cincinnati Bengals signed Brandon LaFell today.
Okay.
That's not a bad signing. That's not a bad signing. They need receivers, that's for sure.
Yep. Who else? Here's one. This is one that's going to make Jeff really happy.
Oh boy. What did the Jaguars do now?
You know what? You're pretty good there, Scott. You're pretty good there, Scott. Well, it's not what the Jaguars did. It's what Pete Carroll did.
Who did Pete Carroll trade?
Props.
Who did Pete Carroll trade to the Jaguars?
Okay. Here, Seahawks coach Pete Carroll said at last week's annual league meeting, per ESPN.com, that he believes the Jaguars are the team to watch in the AFC next year.
What is he, crazy?
He thinks that they're the ones that are going to be the dangerous team
In the AFC?
that they're gonna take off next season
Yeah, okay.
because of everything they did this offseason to improve their defense. He says their offense is not a problem. It's their defense that was a problem. And now they're one of those teams that can easily take the role of a team with a solid defense that can take it really far.
We'll see.
In the conference. So
You
I
don't
mean,
play
coming from a coach like Pete Carroll.
Hey, Pete Carroll, you don't
saying?
play the game on paper.
And you know what? That's just disrespectful to Pete Carroll. For him to say that this team has that kind of a chance says a lot. Because you're talking about a coach that has taken a team to a Super Bowl, almost won a second one, except for a bad call on the last play. Okay. And he's been successful pretty much anywhere he went, except when he coached the Jets back in the NFL way back in the day.
Right.
But then again, nobody could do
Patriots
anything.
too.
Nobody else could do anything with the Jets back then either. So. But anyway, for him to say that, I'm just saying the Jaguars are no longer going to be the pushover in the AFC, and especially not in the AFC North. So that's something to watch out for. I think it's pretty interesting that Pete Carroll would come out as the one coach to say that that's going to happen. So
They haven't come out with the schedule yet for the NFL, have they?
No, not yet. They'll tell you. You can probably find who the opponents are going to be,
Right.
But not when they're going to play.
Okay, so while we're still talking about the NFL, did you guys know that the Chargers released their initiative to fund the downtown stadium here in San Diego?
And
They released their initiative and
Yeah. They released it. They need 55,447 signatures by mid-June to get it on the ballot for November.
that's easy.
Okay, they're going to probably have way more than that. The stadium is going to cost. The stadium, they want to put a 65,000 seat stadium down in San Diego. That's going to cost nearly $2 billion.
Jesus God.
All right, the city would chip in $1 billion by increasing the city hotel tax.
Okay.
Okay, so San Diego residents won't pay for the stadium.
Well, there
It's
you go.
tourism. It's
Right.
tourism.
It's going to be the
It's
tourism,
tourism.
right? The Chargers would contribute $650 million to their project and agree to stay on a 30-year lease with the city.
Yikes. Hey, that's a good deal. I think that's a good deal.
See, the
Donald Trump might not think so, but I think that's a good deal. Donald Trump doesn't think anybody makes good deals with him.
it's a 110-page report about this freaking thing. I got into about 6 pages and I said, okay, I've had enough. It's just crazy. Here in the article, it says, our goal would be to collect considerable in excess of required number of signatures to ensure that we will have in excess of what we need to qualify for the ballot. We believe this is a great opportunity for community to come together and create something special, an iconic, modern, multi-purpose venue. Because what they want to do is they want to build the stadium and also extend the convention center out to it as well. So it's going to be a combination. So that's how they're going to get the city involved. But the city is going to put up more money than the Chargers. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Because the city is going to gain
that way.
The city is going to get a bigger cut of the profits than the Chargers will for all the stuff that goes on. Because the city's getting a cut. Come on now.
Yeah, but the Chargers are only really putting up $300 million. The NFL is putting the $350 up. So the Chargers are only putting up $300 million.
That's fine.
Well,
that's a good deal for the Chargers.
The city's putting up a billion.
So they're putting up $300 million, which means that they're putting up $10 million a year, right? Or is it?
Yeah, because they want to be no.
Yeah, $10 million a year. If it's $300 million,
it's $300 million. It's 30 years. 10 million.
So
a year.
$10 million a year.
Correct.
Is what they're paying.
Right.
And they pay a hell of a lot more than that for just one player.
Right.
So
but
if I was them.
See, if I'm the Chargers, you want the stadium so built it yourself. You're getting money from the freaking, that's what the city is telling them. You want to stay in San Diego, build this freaking stadium yourself. We don't want to pay for it. That's what the city is telling them.
Can I ask you, gentlemen, a question?
Yeah.
How sad has the talent pool for quarterbacks in the NFL gotten?
Bad.
Really bad, right?
Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, here's a case in point. The Denver Broncos need a quarterback, right?
Correct.
Right now, their number one quarterback is Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
Okay. But they have an opportunity to go out and get one of these two guys, Brian Hoyer and Josh McCown.
That's even worse.
Those are your alternates to Mark Sanchez?
That's even worse.
Yes. Are you freaking kidding me? All three of those guys don't make one quarterback.
No, not at all.
But yet that's what Denver has in their view as far as the future of their quarterback position.
They've fallen a long way, haven't they?
They went from Peyton Manning to a choice of Mark Sanchez, Brian Hoyer, and Josh McCown.
Correct.
You know what? I say get rid of all of them and start Trevor Siemian.
Wow.
You can't get any worse, right?
No, you can't. Not at all.
Hey, Ron's in the house.
Well, he was. I don't see him. Is he still here?
Yeah.
I don't see him at the top. So.
Yeah, he says he couldn't get in with Chrome.
What do you do? Put a YouTube video in here? Oh, yeah. He's all set for tonight. He's got a hockey YouTube all ready to go. He's all set for tonight. Yeah.
What happened?
Is he Ron, if you're in the room, jump in. I don't see him up top, so.
I see him up top.
Do you?
Me too.
Yeah, I don't see him up top. So if you're in the room, Ron, jump on in, buddy. I don't see half the people that are in here right now.
You know what? I'm gonna do what I told you earlier. I'm gonna refresh my browser, see if that helps.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. Hey, what's up, Sky? I don't see. I see them coming in the room. I just don't see him up top. That's my problem,
Yeah, I see him up top just fine.
Hey, Ron, jump on in whenever you want, buddy. There you go. What's up, Sky, you freak?
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick will not wind up in Denver because Denver's not going to pay the money that Ryan Fitzpatrick wants.
Correct.
Ryan Fitzpatrick will wind up back with the Jets at lower than what he was expecting. Trust me.
And as I say, he's still not going to get what he wants.
And
he's going to stay with the Jets.
He's not going to get what he wants, but he's going to stay with the Jets because if he's not going to get what he wants, he might as well go back to where the situation is right for him. And that would be back with the Jets.
Right. Exactly.
There he goes.
On in here. Uh-oh.
I mean, uh-oh.
What, do you see him? Or is it just blinking for you?
Yeah.
It's just blinking.
Yeah, it's just blinking.
It's just blinking for me. Yeah.
Right. That's why I said, "Uh-oh." Hey, SWT, what's going on? How you doing?
What's up, SWT?
Hey, we'll just keep SWT in the house.
Trying to get Ron in here through our hockey segment. Ron, fix your shit.
Refresh your browser, Ron.
Yeah, refresh your browser, buddy. There you go. Go out, refresh your browser, and come back in, you rat bastard. That's all. Just do that. Yeah, so I don't know if the Chargers are going to end up having a stadium here. We'll see. We'll see with that.
This guy says, get your hamsters to run faster.
There you go. Fix it or we'll take you into the boards.
There you go. That's a great one.
I like that, Christopher. That's good.
That is.
That's really good. I like that a lot. Hey, Vazmir.
Oh, my goodness. You tried refreshing yet, Jeff?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Something's not happening. Something's not happening.
Something's wrong.
It's on Ron's end. It's not. It's nobody else. Scott got in here okay. You got in here okay. I got in here okay. It's Ron's.
And I'm on a
crap.
freaking tablet, so go figure.
Go figure. It's Ron's crap. It's that freaking Canadian freaking internet, man.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You know. Plus, he's down in the basement too. He's in the dungeon.
Oh, then there you go.
You know. That's
Is
what
it
he's
snowing
having
up there?
problems with.
Is it
Look at
snowing
him.
up there?
Absolutely.
It's always snowing in Canada. Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
There
It's
you
always
go.
snowing there. Yeah. Nope. Hot. It's
Hot
hot.
as, yeah.
Wow, it's hot out there, huh?
Hot as Fig Newtons.
Yeah, it's not usually hot out there either at this time of the year, huh? Wow. Yeah, try it again. Go out, refresh, try Chrome, do something, will you rat bastard? Fix your shit.
Yeah, go back to Chrome.
Really? The hell's the matter with you, you freaking hump? Reboot your computer, do something.
Yeah, it's always snowing in Miami. Can I get a yay, yo?
Up. We got something going on.
Oh!
What's up, Ron?
There he is.
Look at that. I just got back from a bike ride. It's so hot out here.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, you know what, Ron? The reason we wanted you up here is so that he can give you crap about your picks last week. That's what he's waiting on.
Yes.
5-8.
That all.
Hey, 5-8 last week there, Ron.
5-8.
5-8.
Yeah.
That's the shit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
terrible,
that's-
buddy.
Literally, that's the shit.
All right. I'm gonna have to improve that.
But you only got 3 games tonight, so hopefully you
Hey,
won't get
before-
really bad.
Hey, before you get started with anything, Ron, right off the top, what the hell is up with Duncan Keith?
There you go, buddy. There's the link.
Oh, I've seen the whole. I mean, I've looked around. I've read it. What is going on with that?
He's a repeat offender, right? He's done that before.
That's crazy, man.
If you haven't seen it, click on the link, follow it, watch the video. He gets knocked down against the boards, takes exception to it, and one hand's the guy with a stick in the chops. He's going to have an in-person hearing, which means probably a minimum. I know there's 20 games written on the side there, but minimum of 3. I'm going with 5 games.
You're going with 5 games? Elliot backed out so you can put the link in the room. I know what he's doing.
Yeah, he's going. I'm going to go with 5. I'm going to go with 5 games suspension for Duncan Keith.
Okay, there you go. Look, there's the video.
Here it comes. Look, it's even a YouTube video. Okay, they'll show it again. That was it right there. Broke his nose.
Wow.
They should show it again. Here it is.
Wow.
So that's him against the boards, goes down, gets up, whacks him.
With the stick.
Yeah, with the stick. I don't know if they'll put it in. I'm not sure why they had to fight. I mean, Keith is out, but whatever. They got to send a message, right?
Yeah. He's getting his ass kicked.
Oh, this is why we love hockey right here, folks.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
It's not the kind of noogie you want to get. Oh,
That's a great line.
It is.
That's great right there.
That's not
awesome.
the kind of noogie you want to get. I love it.
Hey, Big E, thanks for doing that, buddy.
No problem. Anything you got in video, just send it to me. I'll put it up.
Okay, well, I've got one more. It's a little bit later, though. So a couple of things. 5 games is probably what they're going to get. Remember, Chicago only has like 6 or 7 games left in the regular season, so they're just trying to send – I think that they're just going to send a message, but they're not going to leave Duncan Keith out of the postseason, okay? Yes, I know that I saw 20 games up there on the side, and I'm not saying that the hit doesn't warrant it. I'm pretty sure that Coyle ended up getting a broken nose with that. When Duncan Keith was lying on his back on the ice, he just threw the stick up and clipped him in the nose. It's not the first time. He's actually done that before and been penalized for it. So that's why I'm saying 5 games. But interestingly enough, that fight, if I can, I'll use that as a segue to what's happening in the NHL right now, and that is, of course, the class action lawsuit against the NHL for concussions as a result of fighting. Okay, there's a number of players that are in this class action suit, and they've been putting the NHL to task. The tables are about to be reversed. Now, this is going to be interesting because now the NHL is going to be able to question all of these players for up to 7 hours at a time. So in other words, one player could be on the stand for 1 day. And they will have to answer questions like, do you drink alcohol? When did you start drinking alcohol? Do you take drugs? Did you fight in major junior hockey? Did you fight in minor hockey? Could it be a result that these concussions are a fact of the game at the minor hockey level and not necessarily the NHL to blame for them?
Wow.
So it will be interesting what happens here come the month of April when they turn the tables and the NHL has their opportunity. But remember, there's been a number of key players that have taken their own lives. Derek Boogaard is one, used to play for the Minnesota Wild. Rick Rippon is another, used to play for the Vancouver Canucks. Greg Berube is going to love that. Absolutely. But the thing is that what we're going to be watching for is to see how the NHL mitigates their level of responsibility for all of this, because as the NHL goes, which for some reason the NHL seems to be fast-tracked in comparison to the NFL. You know the NFL is dealing with the concussion protocol legal suit as well, but that concussion protocol just does not seem to be moving through the courts at the speed that the one in the NHL is. So the NFL is definitely watching to see what comes of all of this, because of course that could lay the framework, the groundwork for all major sports, not just the NHL, not just the NFL, but really all sports when it comes to concussions and head trauma.
Really?
You betcha.
Wow. Hey, I was reading an article the other day about a major rumor of an NHL team relocating in 2016.
Okay.
Carolina Hurricanes?
Yeah.
What's up with that? Really?
Well, the bottom line is, and we've talked about this on this show many times. Let's first of all look at one fact. The Eastern Conference is one team heavier. It's two teams heavier than the Western Conference, but it's one team heavy because we have 30 teams. If you had 15 in the East, you could have 15 in the West. But what they've done is they've moved one team. We think it's Detroit. Jeff and I agree that it seems to be Detroit that should be in the Western Conference, not the Eastern Conference as they are. Now, Carolina is in the Eastern Conference. There should be no surprise when I tell you that a team in Las Vegas is expected to take to the ice within the next 2 seasons.
Right.
The Las
Carolina
Vegas
Hurricanes.
Right.
Las Vegas Aces. Now, Carolina Hurricanes move from the Eastern Conference to Las Vegas. Guess what? You now have 15-15.
Right. That's the way it should be.
You can't tell me that Gary Bettman is not pushing for Las Vegas to end up with a team.
And so it's not going to be a new team. It's going to be a relocation of an old team.
I think it's going to be a relocation of the Carolina Hurricanes, which used to be the Hartford Whalers. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there.
I saw that, and I was just like, you got to be kidding me. Really? I just thought they'd put a team there and just add another team.
There is a very strong argument to say that the NHL is getting too watered down. What that means is that there are only X amount of elite hockey players that can play in every year. Okay? Only X amount of players that come available to play in the NHL every year. There's all these drafts. There's some 240 players that are selected at every NHL draft. Only about 18 to 20 play in the following year after being drafted, and that's a high number. And usually it takes about 3 years before you see 50% of them make it to the NHL. The other 50% never even make it. So if you were to start adding teams, now what's going to happen is that pool is going to have to grow a little bit bigger, which means that it's going to encompass even lesser elite players. So the elite players will always be the elite players, but there's only a finite number of them. Every year, it seems to only be about 10 to 15 players domestically, and about that same number internationally that really get people looking. And then after that, this is where they talk about the depth of the draft and being able to find that diamond in the rough. Detroit has a very good track record of doing that, where they find some good players in the 3rd, 4th, 5th rounds. But really seriously, what's happening is the percentage of players from the first round to the last round shrinks dramatically each and every round of players that are good enough to play in the NHL right away or ever.
Wow. That's nuts.
So I mean,
that's why they have the like the IHL and all that stuff, so that they can keep playing, right?
Yeah, the American Hockey League is so what happens is players will play major junior, and they can play major junior up until they're 20 years old or 20 years old before December 31st of that calendar year. So a hockey season usually goes into the spring, right? So technically a player could play while he's 21 years old if his birthday's in January. But anyways, you play until you're 20 years old. You're draft eligible come your 18th birthday. If you get selected and are one of the elite players and you play right away, then what you're looking at is you could technically have a player playing in the NHL 3 years where he could have been playing major junior. So that's why the NHL does like to take a look at these players that are in major junior, select them, and then leave them in major junior to condition, or NCAA. The NCAA program actually gives them an opportunity to play even longer because an NCAA player starts anywhere from the age of 18 to 25. They only get 4 years. So if they join when they're 21, they're done when they're 25. If they join when they're 18, they're done when they're 22. But during those 4 years that the player's in the NCAA, if he's contracted by an NHL team, he can just play NCAA and it remains the rights of that NHL team without the NHL team having to compensate them. Wow. If they bring them up and play them at all at the NHL level, they now have to compensate them, and chances are they're going to put them into the American Hockey League, so what we call conditioning, and let them play in there, and then when they get good enough at the AHL level, they'll try and bring them up to the bigs.
Wow, that's crazy, man. So,
really, all sports are like that, though. I mean, you look at basketball, that's why there's March Madness, right? I mean, everybody wants to see these kids that have been playing in the NCAA, and in some respects, you get far more attendance at an NCAA ball game than you do at an NBA game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially during the Final Four.
Right. Without question,
right.
Yeah.
Especially during the Final Four.
So, I mean, we've all seen players come out of the NCAA, whether they've made it to the Final Four or not. But the nice thing about that is that they can play a little bit longer at the NCAA level.
So National Hockey League is not going to add a team. They're just going to relocate a team.
There's always the possibility that they could add, but there's nobody on the horizon right now that's having those kind of discussions. The last person that was even looking at purchasing, whether it was an existing team and then just buying them or outrightly starting a new franchise, was Jim Balcelli, the Blackberry mogul from Ottawa, Ontario area in Canada. If you're familiar with Blackberry as far as a mobile device, you've got LG, Motorola, you got Blackberry. But Jim Balcelli was the last one that was really hot to be an owner in the NHL. And he ended up being denied, and nothing ever came of that. Wow. That, again, tells me that perhaps on the back wall in Gary Bettman's office, he probably had a 5-year plan going out, and that was, realign the hockey clubs. Let's get Las Vegas moving forward. Las Vegas maybe didn't move as quickly as he wanted it to, but you can see that a team from the East, I mean, there's lots of candidates. I mean, you have Columbus, you have Carolina, you have even Tampa Bay and Florida to some degree. I know you're shaking your head, but to some degree,
not Tampa.
Those teams, if they don't figure it out and draw, could be on the move. Now, that stated, and I know you'll agree with me, but the Tampa Bay Lightning have figured it out, and they have been able to do things. And they got to the big dance. They were playing for the Stanley Cup last year. The thing is if it's fair weather fans, you've got to be all over that marketing and promotions, and you got to make sure that they continue to come into the building. The Florida Panthers, they brought back Roberto Luongo in net, and that seems to have helped their attendance. That, and of course, they're winning.
Well, yeah, they are winning, and that's the way Miami is. Whether it be the Heat, the Dolphins, or the Panthers, as long as they're winning, they're going to have fans in the seats. The Lightning do a very good job of bringing fans into their building, and you remember they won the Cup 10 years ago.
Yeah,
okay.
They got the
Cup. Yeah,
they won the Cup, and then they got to hold on to the Cup for the following season because of the labor dispute. So they actually won it once to have ownership of it for 2 years. Kind of a neat little trivia point. But anyways, like you're saying, though, I believe wholeheartedly that the Tampa Bay Lightning are doing what needs to be done to keep a team in that area. And,
you know who you can thank for that, Ron? A man by the name of Steve Yzerman. That's who you can thank.
Absolutely. Hockey man through and through. Played many years with the Detroit Red Wings. Comes from British Columbia. Actually comes from Vancouver Island. I mean, he's a smart guy.
Wow. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we had that video. I want to show one more video. I only have 2 videos for today, not a long list of videos.
Okay.
This one's really, really quick, Elliot. It's only 19 seconds in duration. But I think you guys will get a kick out of this one. Listen to the interview. You never see the guy talking. You see what he's talking about. If you could throw that video up, would be awesome.
You may have stepped away for a minute.
I'll see if I can grab it.
But Jeff remembers this, that, you know, there's all these little superstitions in the game of hockey. Always have been, always will be. Just the little silly things. In this particular video, you're going to see something that we see a lot more of. Winning teams like to keep what's called the game puck. At the end of the game, they like to take that game puck and keep it somewhere as a souvenir. In this particular video, Edmonton's lost the game.
You threw the puck in the trash?
Yeah. They have to find a new puck. He threw it in the trash. So
Wow.
he threw out the game puck that Anaheim Ducks would have ended up keeping.
Wow, that's mean.
What a jackass.
I think it's funny, actually.
What a prick.
I
Did we
mean,
lose Ron?
It looks like we
No.
lost him. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably pressed the wrong button or something. What a prick for throwing. Oh, he froze. What a prick for throwing it in the garbage, though. Really? Throwing it in the garbage?
What a piece of trash for throwing it in the garbage.
There you go.
Blame Canada. This guy says blame Canada.
There you go. Just blame Canada right away. Well, it was a Duck guy.
That's
that wanted it.
that's a D'Angelo Russell move right there.
I guess so. There you go. That's what we'll call that. Ron, are you still with us?
If you are, Ron, you need to refresh again because you froze up on us.
Right. Refresh and come back in there, buddy boy. And we'll continue the diabolical talk of NHL. So, since you're a Tampa Bay fan there, Mr. Scott.
Yeah.
Your team's in first place, huh? In the Atlantic, huh?
I thought they were behind us.
I'm looking at the standings right now.
Maybe in the division.
Yeah, Ron.
Conference. They got the trophy. The conference.
Yeah, well, the Eastern Conference in the Atlantic, they're sitting in first place, right?
Hang on, I'm going to bring up the stats.
They
here.
They got 93 points and so does Florida.
Yeah, I know they were either tied or a game behind Florida. Well, the thing of it is, the only team that scares me in the Eastern Conference right now are the Capitals. It's the only team that scares me right now. It's definitely not. It's just, and I hate those guys. I just hate those guys. Anyway.
Not an Ovechkin fan at all.
Yeah. So, got a second. Let's go
Maybe
there.
Philadelphia. Maybe Philly can beat them tonight. That would be really nice.
Right.
That would be really nice. Philly could beat them tonight.
Tampa's got 93 points. So is Florida. Tampa's got 2 more wins than the Panthers. That's why they're in first place.
Right.
Hey,
2 more wins.
disgusting right here. Check it out.
Watch this, Scott. That's a bunch of bull right there.
What
You're
a
not the
douchebag.
coach, you're a player, you rat bastard.
Jeff,
LeBron.
look at my face. Jeff, look at my face.
I am.
Does it look like I give a shit? I don't care about LeBron either. So
I know. I understand that, but he tried to coach
But
last
it's
night
just
while
wrong.
he was out.
Foul, man.
Yeah. So we're busting his hump a little bit. You're not a coach, you're a freaking player. You're sitting out the game, you don't coach. You just sit there on the bench and shut up.
Well, like I said, and we already talked about this earlier, Scott. LeBron James definitely deserves the rat bastard for that kind of move.
Yes.
For this week. But the hump of the week goes to Tyronn Lue for letting them fucking pull it off. Excuse the F word.
Yeah, true too.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Tampa's actually third in the conference as far as standings are concerned overall between the Atlantic and Metropolitan. Again, I'm not afraid of the Rangers. I'm not afraid of Florida. The Capitals are playing just out of their minds right now, and that's the only team that's got me concerned in the Eastern Conference. Again, Yzerman's got it down here. He knows what he's doing, and he's building a winner down here, a consistent winner, and that's all.
It looks like Ron is still in here, but can he hear us?
I don't know.
Type in the room if you can hear us, Ron.
Oh, there he is.
Is.
Calling back in now. Hold on. Let's grab him.
There he goes.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened there. It froze on the video. The video all froze. I was hearing you guys fine, but I had to bail and then come back in.
That's okay. No worries. No worries. We were just talking about Tampa Bay.
Okay. Well, let's.
I got a question.
This up.
Yeah.
I got a question, Ron.
Go ahead.
Jake Virtanen.
Okay.
Okay, got a 2-game suspension.
Yep.
Without pay for interference against San Jose Sharks defenseman Roman Polak?
Yeah.
How does that work? Did you get suspended for an interference penalty? Never heard of that.
It was the call on the ice was interference, but after the league reviewed it, they thought that it was obviously much more serious than just interference. They're calling it a late hit. So whenever there's a late hit, there's an intention for injury. Let's put it that way. Okay. So the league looked at it, and that's what they decided, is that there was an intention to injure, and so they penalized him subsequently for that. I think I remember how I said Duncan Keith 3, but more than likely 5 because he's a repeat offender. Jake Virtanen is a young kid, but they need to make sure that they're kind of corralling that testosterone in the younger kids and not letting it go, right?
Harnessing the testosterone. I got it.
I know, right? So
okay, so that's just and that was done basically under the terms of the collective bargaining agreement, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So I mean, if there is suspensions or anything like that, they are typically without pay, and that's exactly what happened here.
So for Virtanen, get this, Jeff.
Uh-huh.
Okay, he's suspended for 2 games without pay. The money is going to go to the Players Emergency Assistance Fund. I don't know who owns that account, but it's going to them. And guess what he's going to lose out on? According to his annual average salary, he will be forfeiting $9,614.70.
How much?
Just under 10 grand.
$9,614.70.
He's a rookie. He's a rookie.
What percentage of that is his salary?
It's the randomness of the number that kills us half the time.
What I understand, Ron told us it's a percentage of everybody's salary, correct?
Right. It's an average of his annual salary per game. But I'm just saying, aesthetically, why can't you just round that off to 96?
I know. What's with the damn thing?
What's with the $14.70? Come on.
I know. What are you, right up for some champagne or something?
Must be taxes. Got to be taxes.
All these random figures that come up.
What, he needs an extra cup of coffee from Starbucks?
You got to remember, in a year, he's only making $832,000. So what they do is they take that salary. Well, I mean, that's low. I mean, that's less than $1 million a year.
Okay, your point?
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well, we'll all take it, right?
Here's a question I have: do they come out of pocket for anything as far as travel or anything like that during the season?
No, that's a
so
team plane.
Pocket money, right? That's pocket money that he's making.
Plus, plus they get a per diem for food on the road, right?
He might not be living high on the hog, but he still got some money.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't shy away from $832,000 in a year.
Not selling cars, you wouldn't.
Hey,
No.
hey, you'd
That's
be
a lot of cars.
Hey, Ron, you'd be the rat bastard of the year if you did that.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a lot of cars. But anyways, just so you know, the team pays for the hotel, the flights, the foods, the pregame, the postgame, the fitness equipment, everything. Everything is supplied by the team.
Okay.
Correct.
Their money that they get paid is
Free
their
and clear.
money.
Free and clear.
Well, taxes, but
Except for
free and
taxes.
clear.
I'm just saying free and clear from expense
Yes.
through any team activity. Correct?
Yep.
And that's the way it is in all leagues.
And that's why you get players like Evander Kane who just doesn't get it, and he's sitting there with stacks of cash, on YouTube.
How many games are left in the regular season there, Ron?
Every team's a little bit different. Some of them are 6, some of them are 7, some of them are 5. Boston Bruins have 5 left.
So the average is 6?
The teams with the most, the Anaheim Ducks have 7, Washington Capitals, Philadelphia Flyers, they both have 7. But yeah, you're looking at 5, 6, or 7, just depending on the schedule.
All right, let's go over last night's games real quick then. Devils and Bruins last night. The Devils put off a 2-1 victory at home. How does that impact?
Well, I'm not sure that it impacts too drastically, but, I mean, the New Jersey Devils are out of a wild card spot right now. They're trying to get into one. So, I mean, obviously that plays a big role, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that obviously helps the New Jersey Devils. I'm just pulling this up here. The New Jersey Devils right now have 82 points. They're 5 points back of the Philadelphia Flyers. Remember, the Philadelphia Flyers have 7 games remaining. Games remaining for the New Jersey Devils, they're down to 5. So, they've kind of got to win out to be their best friend and hope that the other teams find a way to stumble. Otherwise, New Jersey Devils are not making it in.
Okay. The next game was the Carolina Hurricanes going down in Brooklyn last night against the Islanders. Islanders come away with a shootout victory 2-1.
Yeah, New York Islanders are in the top spot as far as a wild card position goes. They have 91 points. This is almost how unfair it is sometimes. They have 91 points. They're sitting in a wild card spot. Boston Bruins have 88 points. They're sitting on the third position of the Atlantic Division. New York Islanders, they obviously want to maintain their spread on the Philadelphia Flyers and the Detroit Red Wings. Both of those teams, Philadelphia and Detroit. We talked about this last Wednesday, by the way. Philadelphia and Detroit were tied at the time with points. They're still tied a week later. Difference is Detroit has actually lost games that they've played, whereas the Philadelphia Flyers have played fewer games. So as an example, the Detroit Red Wings, they lost to the Montreal Canadiens, who have been officially eliminated from the postseason. So when you're in a wild card race, you shouldn't be losing to a team doesn't even have a hope in hell of getting into the postseason.
Right.
Got off on a tangent there. New York Islanders are one of those teams that are onward and upwards, and they are really only 3 points back of the Pittsburgh Penguins in the Metropolitan Division. So there's still an opportunity for the New York Islanders to, really change the scenery, if you will, on what the Stanley Cup playoff picture looks like right now with a handful of games remaining for everybody.
They take just the top 8 out of the East, right?
The way it works, it's the top 3 out of each conference, and then the next 2 highest teams. So it's 8 from the West and 8 from the East. There's 2 teams that come in as a wild card teams.
Oh man, that's ridiculous. Why don't you just take it? Hey, why are they doing wild card?
Because it's an opportunity for a conference or a division that has a really strong division to make sure that not all of those teams make it in, and another division in that conference has an opportunity. That being said, the Pacific Division is extremely weak, and the Central Division is extremely strong in the West.
Yeah.
So if it goes according to plan, there could be 5 teams from the Central Division and only 3 from the Pacific Division, the 3 that are guaranteed to be in. If they did not do that, there's a very strong possibility that only 1, possibly 2 teams from the Pacific Division would actually have enough points to make it into the postseason if they didn't have that wild card situation and a limit of 3 per division.
Wow.
Yeah, they take 3 from each division and then add 2 wild cards from either one of the divisions, depending on who's got the most points at the end of the season.
Yeah, top points after that. So you could technically have 5 teams from one division in either conference, and it looks like that's going to happen out west. Yeah,
out west you got Nashville and Minnesota with that got 91 and 87 points respectively. Then the closest team in the Pacific Division is Arizona with 75 points. There's been 3 of the 4 remaining teams in the Pacific Division already eliminated. All of course are in Canada. There's for the first time in a long time, there will not be any Canadian teams in the NHL playoffs.
Wow.
The Ottawa Senators are the only team right now that have not been mathematically eliminated from the postseason, but that happens tonight.
Okay.
Points, and it's not going to happen. They're not going to make it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
They won't. Before you get to the next game, Elliot, if you don't mind, I just want to touch on something that Scott's talking about. 7 Canadian teams are all in the basement of the NHL this year. Right. Edmonton has right now the worst record and is sitting with the potential of taking that first NHL draft pick again this summer. Edmonton, Toronto, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Calgary, Montreal, Ottawa, they're all down there. 7 of the 10 worst teams in the 30-team NHL are all Canadian-based teams.
That's almost 25%.
Needless to say, needless to say, Canadians right now are a little distraught about the game of hockey.
You think?
I would
a
imagine.
little bit.
I would imagine.
Wow.
Okay, the next game up, this is probably going to be a good subject or a good topic for Chris. The Penguins in a shootout last night defeated the Sabres 5-4.
That's huge. Remember what I said. They're holding on to that 3rd spot in the Metropolitan Division. The thing that's got to scare perhaps a Pittsburgh Penguins fan is the fact that they end up in a shootout with the Buffalo Sabres. The Buffalo Sabres have 73 points. The Pittsburgh Penguins have 94. Okay, we're talking 20-point different spread. Pittsburgh has won basically 10 more games than the Buffalo Sabres. They've actually won 12 more games. They've won 43-31. So, I mean, the Pittsburgh Penguins should not be having this kind of difficulty against a team like the Buffalo Sabres. Hopefully it's just a one and done. If postseason were to start tonight, interesting matchup. The Pittsburgh Penguins would play the New York Rangers. And interestingly enough, on paper, you would seem to think that the New York Rangers would have a better opportunity. In the regular season, Pittsburgh has defeated New York 3-1, 3-1 in the regular season. So that could be a very interesting.
Yeah, I watched the other night when they lost in overtime, or when Pittsburgh beat the Rangers in overtime.
Yeah, so it could be a very, very interesting matchup, Pittsburgh and New York, if it plays out that way.
Okay, and as you had mentioned earlier, the Canadians did beat the Red Wings. That's kind of a tough blow to the Wings as far as trying to hang on to that final spot, right?
Yeah, well, I mean it is. And the thing that has Detroit fans a little bit unnerved, they did give up a 2-0 lead to the Montreal Canadiens. Peter Mrazek got pulled after that second goal. Detroit ended up in the second period scoring 3 goals on power play opportunities and took a 3-2 lead into the third period, only to have Montreal come back and score twice and win it 4-3 in regulation time. So Detroit didn't even get the single point that would have allowed them to knock Philadelphia out of the wild card spot and take it for themselves. Now, like I said, Philadelphia has 2 games in hand on the Detroit Red Wings, and the Detroit Red Wings are fighting to get into that wild card positioning. So if Philadelphia is to win those 2 games in hand, they're 4 points up on the Detroit Red Wings.
Okay, this next game, I look at it as a WTF. We all know what WTF stands for, right?
Yeah, what the Fig Newton.
How do the Maple Leafs go into Florida and beat the Panthers 5-2?
Sometimes teams just take other teams too lightly. Okay, here's an interesting thing. On Saturday night, Mike Babcock goes in front of cameras and starts crying the blues that Nazem Kadri is being targeted and the officials are not calling penalties against him. In the next 3 games, Nazem Kadri draws 7 power plays, including 3 last night that Toronto converted 2 of, and Kadri scores a hat trick. So all of a sudden, Toronto they've just become, I guess they've become the fodder, if you will. They've become the subject matter of conspiracy theories because Mike Babcock complains about the team that plays in the center of the universe as far as the NHL is concerned, especially in Canada. And the next thing you know, Toronto is going on a bit of a mini tear at the end of the season. So
I guess they got to salvage pride for at least, right?
Yeah.
All right, the Minnesota Wild took care of the Blackhawks last night in Minnesota 4-1.
That's a little bit scary. Again, now remember, Minnesota is in a wild card race. Chicago has fallen out of that top echelon, if you will, in the Central Division. Don't get me wrong, Chicago still got lots of points. They still hold on to a playoff spot. They're sitting with 95 points. But when they used to be in a race with St. Louis and Dallas for the top in the Central Division, they've really fallen off, and they are 6 points back. They have the same number of points as the Los Angeles Kings do in the Pacific Division. They're better than Anaheim. They're better than San Jose. But Nashville is only 4 points back of Chicago. And now Minnesota is 8 points back. That's 4 games back of the Chicago Blackhawks. Are the Blackhawks in danger? No, I don't think that the Blackhawks are in danger at all of losing a playoff position. But again, look back to last year. And if this is just a case of Chicago kind of like easing up, then that's one thing. If it's a case of the fact that Brent Seabrook is out on the blue line and now Duncan Keith is going to be out on the blue line, and they don't have that strength on defense that they're known for to be able to feed the offensive gifted forwards, Chicago could end up being in a bad position heading into the first round because right now they're teed up to play the St. Louis Blues, and their regular season series is a 2-2 tie.
I was going to say, should they be concerned at this point, going into that?
There's this much concern because think about last year. Jeff and I watched the Chicago Blackhawks basically free fall at the end of the year. In the first round, somehow they managed to squeak through the first round, and then they got stronger in the second, stronger in the third, and any Tampa Bay fan knows what happened as you continue on.
Okay. The Blues handled the Avalanche at home last night 3-1.
That hurts Colorado huge.
Oh, big.
Colorado was in that race to get. Last week, we talked about 2 teams that needed to do something during the week. One of them was the Detroit Red Wings, and the other one was the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche have gone from being just a game back of a wild card spot. They are now 5 points back. That's 2.5 games. They are quickly running out of time. They do have enough games in hand where they can maybe make improvements. They have the same number of games remaining as Nashville and Minnesota do, but I said 5 and 9 points back. They cannot afford to be losing to any team, whether that team is into the postseason or not. Colorado, if they can squeak in, they would end up having to play Dallas or Los Angeles in that wild card spot.
The Predators took a hit last night in Dallas, 5-2.
Yeah, as I said, that's not as significant. And Dallas right now is a team that seems to be firing on all cylinders. If the postseason were to start tonight, they are the heavyweight favorites coming out of the West, even above Chicago because of what Chicago is doing. If we were picking the two teams to vie for the Western Conference representative in the Stanley Cup, you wouldn't be amiss to pick Dallas as one of them, and perhaps Los Angeles, maybe Anaheim out of the Pacific Division. But Dallas for sure is a very strong pick right now to come out of the West.
And wrapping it up last night, San Jose went into Vancouver, handled their business 4-1.
Again, no real surprise. In 5 games, Vancouver has scored 3 goals. Make that 6 games. Sorry, in 6
3 goals in 6 games?
Yes. They were shut out in 3 consecutive games. They scored in their 4th game. They were shut out in their next one, which would be their 5th game, and then they scored 1 goal against San Jose last night. Yep. So they have scored in 2 of their last 6 games, a total of 3 goals.
Is the goalie award the Vezina Trophy?
Yes.
Okay. I was just gonna say they go out and improve people's Vezina Trophy chances over the last few years.
Ryan Miller is not going to get it. That's for sure.
All right, and tonight's action underway right now. Ottawa is in Winnipeg playing the Jets. 14:37 to go in the first. The Senators are up 1-0. How do you got this?
I was going to say I didn't know that score, but I was going to say if I've got to pick a team, I'm going to go with Ottawa because the Winnipeg Jets are out of the race. Ottawa, like I said, is holding on to that slim mathematical possibility that they can still make it into the postseason. If they lose tonight, or if just trying to think here, if Philadelphia gets a single point, Ottawa, I believe, is now officially eliminated. If Ottawa wins and Philadelphia wins, I think it's only that 1-point spread. I'm pretty sure it's only a 1-point spread right now because Philadelphia has 7 games in hand. Ottawa only has 6.
Uh-huh.
So Ottawa could potentially pick up 12 points, which will give them 89 points. So if Ottawa picks up a single point and it doesn't matter what Philadelphia does, then Ottawa is still mathematically in the race. If Ottawa loses to Winnipeg and Philadelphia picks up a single point, then it's done. Ottawa will not make it into the postseason.
Hey, Jeff, write that down. He picked the Ottawa Senators in the game between the Senators and the Jets.
Okay,
yeah,
got it.
Okay. Hey, the next game is the Capitals at the Flyers. That game is on NBCSN coming up at the top of the hour.
Watch it. That's all I'm going to say is watch it. This is a great matchup. This is a first-round playoff preview right now as it stands. Wild card 2 position belongs to the Philadelphia Flyers. President's Cup trophy and home ice advantage all the way through the postseason belongs with the Washington Capitals. In the season series, this is the 4th and final meeting between these two teams. The Washington Capitals have a 2-1 edge over the Philadelphia Flyers as this game is being played in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is hungry. I've already talked about the importance of winning their 2 games at hand. This is going to be a highly entertaining game. Really hard to pick.
Come on now.
Oh man. I'm gonna go. It's an underdog, even though they're at home, but it's an underdog. I'm gonna go with Philadelphia.
Okay.
Taking the Flyers, huh?
Taking the Flyers over the Caps.
Okay,
over
I got
Ovi.
it.
Over Ovi.
Not just Ovi, but Holtby. Don't forget about the goaltender. You talked about a Vezina Trophy candidate. There's one right there, the goaltender for the Washington Capitals.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Where Ovi hasn't been able to score, Holtby's been able to prevent the other team from scoring on Washington. So it's not an easy task for the Philadelphia Flyers at all. But this being a first-round playoff preview and an opportunity to pull away from the Detroit Red Wings yet again.
That's what I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
The chances of this being a season without both the Habs and the Flyers out of the playoffs. That's a very distinct possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't discount Detroit, too. I mean, Detroit has been in this 24 consecutive seasons that they've made the postseason. Right. They're in danger of not making it a 25-season run. You know what? Detroit should have more motivation than what they've been showing lately. Philadelphia, somehow, Philadelphia is gelling at the right time in the year. I've got to go with Philadelphia tonight.
Yeah, it's a three-man race between Philly, the Islanders, and Detroit for those last two spots to get into the playoffs. And it's, I mean, even when that division, I mean, even Boston could fall out, but Detroit's on the cusp of getting eliminated. Yeah.
Yeah, just so that you know, you're absolutely right. If Philadelphia ends up winning this game tonight, what ends up happening in the divisions is this: the Philadelphia Flyers will end up with 89 points. The Boston Bruins with 88.
Right.
Okay. Now, what really happens there is the only thing that secures Boston is the fact that they're not playing in the same division. It's Detroit that would knock Boston out of the playoff spot. Philadelphia has to catch the New York Islanders and then catch the Pittsburgh Penguins. Wow. That's a lot harder task. So Philadelphia's only entrance into the NHL postseason is through the wild card door.
Yeah. And Flames and Ducks, 10 o'clock tonight.
I got to go with the Ducks. I mean, the Ducks have struggled over the last couple of weeks. They've lost to Montreal. They've lost to Toronto. They've had a tough time in Winnipeg. But I just, you know, yes, they beat Edmonton. I don't see that as a huge rah-rah moment. That's not where they're going to be building momentum off of. They got to do it themselves. Right now, they have 94 points. They're 1 point back of the Los Angeles Kings. They are secured a playoff spot, so they could coast, but they're only 2 points ahead of the San Jose Sharks. Right now, Anaheim is looking like they will play the San Jose Sharks in the first round. If they can catch and pass the Los Angeles Kings, they'll play a wild card team. You can't tell me that being able to play a wild card team isn't a reason for motivation. And I'd have to go with Anaheim tonight over Calgary.
Okay. And before we get the flock out of here, because it is almost that time, how about a little on this day in NHL history?
What's up with Mario Lemieux on this day?
I don't have a Mario Lemieux on this day, but I do have in 1925 the Victoria Cougars of the WCHL became the last non-NHL team to win the Stanley Cup.
You know where the Victoria Cougars play now?
No.
Prince George.
Prince George.
Did I lose you? I lost somebody.
Prince George?
Yes.
That's your neck
Elliot,
of the woods.
You're muted, Elliot. I can't hear you.
That's your neck of the woods.
That is.
All right, Prince George.
Tonight. They got to play the Seattle Thunderbirds tonight.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, the Victoria Cougars ended up moving to Prince George. So that's my my topic. Okay, he's looking for this day.
He's trying to get his mic to work, I guess. He lost his mic.
Yeah, he lost his mic.
Oh, okay.
No biggie. Yeah, what were you going to say, Ron?
Oh, just some of the things from this day in history. This day in history, 1918, the Toronto Arenas defeated the Vancouver Millionaires 2-1 in a final game of their best-of-5 series.
No,
To become
what
the
the
first
hell, man? We
NHL.
lost. Oh, there he is.
You're getting sporadic.
Yeah, you're getting sporadic too now there, Mr. Ron.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. What else you got?
Let's see if there's a couple more here. 1957. Maurice Rocket Richard has a goal and an assist to become the first NHL player with 100 career points in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Richard's milestone comes in an 8-3 victory against the New York Rangers in the Montreal Forum, Game 3 of the semifinals.
Wow.
1989, Mario Lemieux of the Pittsburgh Penguins sets a single-season NHL record with his 13th shorthanded goal, breaking Wayne Gretzky's mark set in 1983-84. It's one of 4 goals by Lemieux in a 9-5 loss to the visiting Hartford Whalers. Lemieux scored 4 of the 5 goals in a loss.
There's your Mario Lemieux for today, right?
There you go.
There it is, right there.
1975, Philadelphia Flyers become the first NHL team to win 13 games in 1 month with a 4-1 victory against the Chicago Blackhawks, played in Philadelphia. Rick McLeish has a goal and 2 assists.
All right, it's 5 o'clock. What do you say we get the flock out of here, boys?
Sounds good.
Sure.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us today. Hey, Ron, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Before we let you go, let everybody know how they can contact you on Twitter.
Ron_Gallo.
There you go. That's really hard, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Hey, Scotty, before we get out of here, tell everybody about Sunday.
Sunday nights, I host the Sports Nerds, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Me and a couple buddies of mine, Brian Scooter Cullen, and Robert Arnold. Sometimes John Olson jumps in. We talk sports and pretty much anything else that just happens to come up. We even throw some business in there as well once in a while. But yeah, mostly. And it's the key point on my show is it is not safe for the kids. Don't bring the kids because we do not answer to the censors on that one. So yeah, we let it all hang out. So if you're easily offended, you probably don't want to show up.
Right. And Elliot, don't worry about it, dude. We'll get it fixed. Don't worry about it. We're going to get the flock out of here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us today. We had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable. For Ron Gallo, Scott the Sports Nerd. You like that one, Scotty? Is that better? Elliot Biggie Lamba. I'm Jeff Escow. This has been Sports World Radio. We'll catch you tomorrow, bitches. See ya.
Thanks for listening to Sports World Radio with your hosts, Jeff Escow and Elliot Big E Lamba. Online at SportsWorldRadio.com. Sports World Radio, the equal opportunity ripper. We'll catch you next time.